Have all of you been to the chambers and the BNI's and Liz Clubs, right? So it's nothing new there. But I think we all agree that everybody that goes to those are pretty much like-minded. Would you at least agree with that? And so it's a lot more comfortable to talk to people that are entrepreneurs. Like-minded from an entrepreneur standpoint. Come on, sister. Give me a break. Well, and I'll be honest, when I started my career in what I call the people business, and I got to go to the 2030 Club and the TIP and the TNI and the Kiwanis and all that stuff, it was exciting for me because it was a more comfortable crowd. Because when you're prospecting for your business and you're dealing with anybody on the street and you don't, it doesn't say loser on their forehead and you don't know until you talk to them, and then you deal with all the rejection and all the things that come with dealing with someone who's not an entrepreneur at heart. I mean, it's a tough ride. And I did that for 27 years. But in the process, it's what created me. I discovered that it would be a lot more fun to go to mixers. And go to mixers, you meet some incredible people. So, not quite 3 years ago, I came up with the concept of successful thinkers, but originally did not know what it was going to be. I just knew I wanted to do something with that word. And eventually, I ended up going to North Carolina. Josh and I became really good friends. And actually, I'm gonna tell the whole. What's Brian's last name? The guy that started Positive Charlotte.
Kalintek. Brian Kalintek.
Kalintek? Okay. You don't have to record all of what I'm doing because I'm just going to use bits and pieces of it. But here's the deal. I went to a thing called Positive Charlotte. I love the word positive. Right? I went to it. It was probably one of the most boring events I'd ever been to in my life. Am I right, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. But I was asked to be a keynote speaker, and I spoke on one of my books, and when it was all over, I got to meet some of the people, and so I come back to Charlotte, North Carolina again, and Brian was at a meeting I was doing. And so I pulled Brian aside, and I said to Brian, Brian, what is Positive Charlotte? And I was at an event, did not even know what it was. Okay? That's the truth. And he goes, well, it's all about personal development and helping people, kind of find their niche and help them overcome some issues and things that they're doing with their business and their career and whatever. And so they bring in keynote speakers to do it, but everybody sits theater style. I says, well, how's it doing for you? He goes, well, it sucks. I go, how long have you been doing it? He goes, a year. And I go, well, I don't understand. Why does it suck? He goes, I haven't got any business out of it. And I go, well, don't you have all the names and all the people that come and everything like that? And he goes, I think he said no, but it doesn't matter. It was like, well, don't you guys talk to each other? And he goes, no. I don't get it. I go, well, what I remember the event, everybody was already sitting down, so I didn't know if there was a mixture going on before the event started, right? And he goes, no, we don't do that. And he didn't allow people to do it. He was adamant about what I just said.
Thank you.
And I go, Brian, I says, obviously you're onto something because people come. They come because of the word. Think about this, you guys. They come because of the word, positive. But they don't get the excitement and enthusiasm out of a mixer that we'd all get, like we would to a party. And I said, well, Brian, I would tell you something. I said, this sounds crazy. I'm going to come from left field here on you, but I'm in if you'll do this, and that. I says, you need to be willing to allow people to mix and mingle and develop relationships so that they can actually do business. I says, the only reason you haven't got any business, he's a real estate agent and a mortgage broker, and did not get one deal in 1 year. Oh. Not one deal. And I go, because what you're doing obviously doesn't work, but if you allow people to mingle, then you're going to find business, right? And he said, no, I won't allow that. Oh. I said, I'll tell you what, I will brand you in the United States if you will change the way you're doing it. And he says, well, I'm not going to do that. And I says, well, then don't worry, I won't call you. If you're interested, call me and we'll do something. Well, it bugged me for months because obviously there was something that attracted people to a meeting by the word positive. Come on, because he was not a positive guy.
Some people are positively negative.
Totally.
And I'll add on that, their first couple of meetings, they had like over 400 or 500 people there because of the concept that people thought was there. And then as people found out, that it wasn't what was, what they seemed it to be, so you got to see how excited people were about the concept, and then you could tell that it wasn't what people were looking for because it died out.
So one day I sat in front of my computer and typed in GoDaddy.com and typed in, and I swear as God's my witness, I typed in one long word called Successful Thinkers, and it was available.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I really believe this with all my heart. I believe that God parked that URL so I could find it. because something about that word attracted me to type it. And then when I started telling people about the word, successful thinkers, I had people look at me really kind of funny, like, well, I'm a successful thinker. And I'm going, wow. And then when I launched a corporation, and people ask me what I did for a living, I would say I have a company called Successful Thinkers, and they would look at me the same way. And they said, well, I'm a successful thinker. And I realized at least there's something there, kind of like the word positive. And then, you know, the whole thing about doing mixers and stuff, obviously I like that concept. But, and here's where things got different. And Cesar, obviously, we're 100% on the same page. The thing I didn't like about the chamber concept and all that was really, it was all about, you know, pitching your business, the elevator pitch, all that kind of stuff. And believe it or not, I actually studied elevator pitches and things like that, but I, on a personal level, was extremely uncomfortable with it. And I thought, I must be the weird one here. And I actually, when I launched Successful Thinkers, I actually tried to emulate the whole Chamber of Commerce and you know, the tip and the BNI concept from that perspective. And on the second meeting I did in California, I said, this sucks. Because here's what was happening. There were people that were not comfortable with meeting people, and they were sitting all by themselves. There were people that were comfortable with the people they came with, and they had their little clique going on. And then you had the social butterfly that could just talk to anybody. And it was just like, I'm standing here at the second meeting in California, and I'm going, this is not right. And I said, hey, everybody just like that, just like this. I go, excuse me. And everybody kind of looked at me like kind of weird, and I said, look, we're going to do something different here. I said, have you ever been to a party? And everybody's like, yeah. I said, well, then this is going to be a party, and you're not going to pitch your business. I said, what would you do at a party? I said, you would go up to somebody and you would start talking to them and ask them where they're from, who they are, what brought them here, you know, they married, what kind of business they do, and develop the relationship. And I said, please put your business cards away. I go, you're going to get your business cards pulled out of your pocket, I promise you. I said, but it's going to come because people, there's a whole saying, and we already know this, and we call it the know, like, and trust, but people care more about how much you care than how much you know. So it's really simple. I've never done business with one person ever that I didn't know, like, and trust. Ever. It's true. And what I saw was, you know, this person from this business and this person from that business pitching the business within seconds, and then I watched the eyes of the person they were pitching to drift off to somebody else because they're looking for the next victim.
Right.
And as soon as we did that, the decimal level, the volume level in that room, I couldn't even hear anybody talk anymore. It was so loud. And I go, wow, this is interesting. Make it a party and everybody's having a great time. And that really was the second meeting in the state of California. Now, Josh, my buddy Josh, he was a pain in the butt because he kept saying, well, when are you going to come out to North Carolina and do this? When are you going to come out to North Carolina? I said, well, when I get the website done. He goes, yeah, but Jim, you got to put a date on it. And then all of you know that as an entrepreneur, you have to put a date on anything if you want to succeed, right? Because if you don't put a date on something, you don't have to do it, right?
That's right.
And so Josh actually called me on it, and I had to book a date to go to Raleigh, North Carolina. He promised me to have 150 people there, and he really let me down because he filled up the entire place that they had. But anyway, it was Raleigh, North Carolina. Everybody said, why are you doing Raleigh, North Carolina as your first meeting? I said, because Josh is making me do it. But I had, going out there and kind of sharing the vision of what Successful Thinkers is, and it's real simple. Give back to the community. You've heard the saying, we're declaring war on the economy. And that came actually from a mutual friend of ours, Jeff Bakery. Jeff is one of the original founders of Successful Thinkers. And he just, you know, he was so depressed on what he was watching happen with the economy that he said, Jim, we've got to declare war on the economy. So out of the whole concept of giving back to the community was to declare war on the actual economy. And then take the concept of building relationships to the ultimate level. But not just in one location, but nationally, and now of course internationally. I don't know how astute all of you are in terms of what's going on with the economy and how the economy is affected and how we can turn it around, but it can be turned around. It's only going to be it's not going to come from the United States government. It's not. Thank you. But here's the thing.
Not the Fed.
Here's the thing, you guys. If there's not an organized strategy to pull this off, this will continue to wear this country down. And as God is my witness, I did not plan on Successful Thinkers being a solution. but I believe it is now, because I understand it better. That as an organized structure nationally, that we can affect small communities. You can affect a small community, you can affect the larger community, then you can affect the state, and the state affects the nation. And so you may think I'm a little whacked when I talk like this, but I'm really serious about it. And it's in our business plan. It's not about just doing a meeting and having my name spread all over the place. It's really about empowering the local community to grow and feed itself. I'm assuming you all know that the dollar in the normal times rotates 7 times a year. So every dollar that you make and you spend will rotate in your, at least somewhere in the country, 7 times. Okay, that's a lot. Well, as we know, as the economy stalled out, so did our rotation of dollars stalled out. And so if that happens, it creates a domino effect in the wrong direction, right? I know you guys might not be here for a philosophy thing, but I take this really serious. And so I see this kind of as a movement, a cause, and an opportunity to really make a difference, not just in one local city, but local communities across the nation. And I actually was invited to speak on August 6th in the UK at a celebrity bash about successful thinkers. I've had phone calls from all over the country. A lot of things have come out of it. People that have offered me television stuff and everything, but they are not willing to put on successful thinker events, and it makes no sense. So, anyways, the long and short of it, this has been a 2-year beta test with a lot of people coming and going. And I say that at the ambassador level. The people who love successful thinkers continue to utilize it because it makes sense. It's free, they get to network, and they get to grow their business. Some people actually do 100% of their business at Successful Thinker events. Some people do 30, 40, 50% of their business at Successful Thinker events. Because in the greater Sacramento area alone, we have at least 15 cities. There's 26 cities that are already on a weekly basis happening somewhere in the northern region. And so on any given day, there could be anywhere from, if it's one event that day, anywhere from 25 to 100 something people, all the way to perhaps 300 to 400 or 500 people going to an event on a given day in Successful Thinkers in Northern California. Nationally, I don't really know how many people. I don't. We've been doing this on a pay it forward. Obviously, there has to be some sort of a financial win in this thing. We have a business plan. Successful Thinkers will always be free to the members. So that the whole concept of what it is and how it works will never change, but there is a way to make money in this industry, so we will do that eventually, hopefully really, really soon. And we have some strategies behind it. So we had some issues. Anybody own websites that require lots of programming? Okay. So, Jared, I know you do.
The voice of the glass.
Oh, someone
Forgot he was there.
Yeah, he's in the wine glass. Yeah. And somebody drank the wine out, so it's all gone now.
Oh, well, good. Probably Jared, huh?
Yeah, it's Jared.
Hi, Jared.
That was Nolan. So, anyways, as a result, we put a few $100,000. My partner and I put a few $100,000 into the concept. But we did a lot of different things. Some of it made no sense at all. Some of it we kind of threw out the window, and some of it was designed for our website. And some of the stuff that we did with the website, we didn't build the whole website. We took part of it, and the part that we didn't build had issues. So those issues were expensive to be repaired, and so we ended up pushing everybody on Facebook, which unfortunately was an issue all by itself, because all of a sudden we lost control. When you put your database out to the world, then you don't have the control of the people that are involved in your world. So the good news is that obviously people love Successful Thinkers enough that they're still a part of it, regardless of the fact that they weren't on the website. We fixed the initial issues, the plaguing issues, and so people are migrating back, and eventually we get all the meetings that are going on listed back on there. We need to get them back on there, because here's the thing: people look for Successful Thinkers and can't find them.
That's right.
They really cannot find them, and the ambassadors don't understand that spillover they're losing, because one person could bring 2 to 3 people, or 3 to 4 people could bring 10, 20 people. We have people coming from Meetup.com and Facebook, and people that actually do post on Successful Thinkers, and people find on Successful Thinkers. This is important to know. So here's the thing with Successful Thinkers. We want to be, anybody who's ever talked about franchising, we want to be a duplicatable program. The only thing that should change at a Successful Thinkers event is whoever the ambassadors are and their stories. Otherwise, the environment should be identical no matter where it is. from the time you're greeted when you walk in the door to how you feel emotionally and why you would want to come back. Because successful thinkers, I cannot take credit for the growth of successful thinkers. The thing I can take super credit for is the idea. But I say this, and I want to say it very strongly, is that as we empower ambassadors to take control of a location, we want them to, think of it this way, when you walk into a McDonald's, you know that no matter where you go, it's going to be similar, at least in the food, right? And the way they treat you at the counter. Am I wrong or right? So if we do that the same with successful thinkers, then the rest will happen naturally. Because it already works. I mean, I didn't even know Jared until Jared had already blown successful thinkers up in Stockton. Am I right, Jared?
That's right.
You know, and Jared actually said, "Who are you?" But there's a reason for me saying that. Because it was never meant for Jim Bellicera to be at all these events because it's physically, humanly impossible. We've opened up over 200 cities in the United States. I did personally hit over 60 of them. I know that for sure because my airplane tickets and my drive time. You know, I've been all over the United States. All over the United States.
Jim, where do you actually live? In the Sacramento area?
Yes, I do. Actually, Rockland.
Yeah, I know there. Well,
So obviously, it's one of those things. It does make sense. It does, and it can and it will work on its own. And we've got where we're going with this thing. I've got some crazy relationships that have all been frothing at the mouth to help blow successful thinkers up. I'm talking people that are nationally and internationally known. I just became a part of an organization called Cracking the Rich Code. They just launched online. I think it was this week. Okay. And there's 12 contributors, all of them self-made millionaires, one of them's a billionaire. They've all got databases between 100,000 to 5 million people. They all want to help us. I'm dead serious, you guys. We're going to be on national television in about 2 to 3 weeks. And every single member that comes through Cracking the Rich Code is going to go through Successful Thinkers. This is only, what we built through what I call the beta test period was built organically. But there's a strategy behind the method of this madness. And I've got people that have Twitter accounts with 150,000 people that have relationships with people that have bigger Twitter accounts than theirs. And they're just dying to be a part of this thing. But it's all about our website. So when we get the website where we can make it work good, that's going to happen. And I think we're weeks, perhaps maybe a couple months away from that. But when that happens, there's nothing going to stop this thing. Because we've already proven. I document everything that I do on video. So I have videos that are anywhere from 2 minutes to 4.5 minutes anywhere I go. Just to show the evidence that people love successful thinkers. And so, I know it's real. And so when and going back to the ambassador thing, here's the deal. And I just, we're human. And we all want to be proud of our accomplishments, but I got to ask, if you want to be an ambassador, please don't try to do it all on your own, because it's a lot of work, and it's a commitment, and it is a sacrifice. And when you do things on your own, then it's a huge burden. And so the goal with Successful Thinkers, and we have an outline, and we have all the strategy and everything that needs to be done, is to have you partner up with multiple ambassadors in your location, so that nobody is reliant on one person. I mean, I can't even imagine, Cesar, what it would be like if you didn't show up to your own event. I mean, seriously. I mean, because you know everything's going to happen. It's all inside your head. You make magic happen. Am I right?
In 12 years, I only missed one event. That's because I had my gallbladder removed.
Did you save your gallbladder?
I had my gallbladder. That's the only time I actually missed one of my events.
But imagine, and I'm serious about this, imagine stuff they're being actually replicated nationally.
That's the idea.
That is the idea.
That's part of the idea.
And if we talk about the network marketing industry, come on, let's face it. We all know that there's no way network marketing could work if you didn't have people that were out there who know how to lead, right? I'm not going to get into network marketing, that's not why we're here. But the point is that there's all these companies who've grown because they talk about the replication process. But if you can truly replicate or develop what works and teach everybody to do the exact same thing with the exception of one important ingredient: your own personality. you got a home run. And that's what we've done. It's exactly what we've done. So, most of the Bay Area stuff that started with Successful Thinkers always started with only one ambassador that did not have a commitment. And there lies the biggest problem. They were fired up, and actually, all the locations that I went to in the Bay Area, because I went to most of them, the first one that they did, they were awesome. They had anywhere from, on a low side, maybe 35 people to as many as 100 plus people. And that was the first time we were doing that. But the ambassador didn't want to repeat that process because they realized it was a commitment. And so I've learned a lot over the last 2 years, and that is that we've got to make sure that we arm you with other people that are just, even if you're equally committed or partially committed, that you run together, then if you don't come or you can't do it or you've got a family issue or you've got a gallbladder thing going on, it's okay. Because here's the thing, you create an environment where people can count on, it will grow. And the way we give recognition, the things that we're doing now that we'll be rolling out and implementing in the very, very near future, that we've already rolled out in some of the cities, they work, and it has to do with the recognition side. And we'll teach all that a little bit later. But anyway, we just learned a lot. And I'm more than humble. I mean, Elias has been nuts about making sure that we pull this, have this meeting and everything today. And I was more than excited, and I've told everybody about it. And at the same time, I don't want anybody to be disappointed if we launch a city and there's not a commitment behind it. Because when somebody starts something, people really do expect you to be there the next time you're going to do it, whether it's once a month or once a week. And I promise you, people want it. They want this thing, you guys. And so that's just kind of what's going on. It's kind of the history where we are and what got us here. As far as how we do what we do, it's really organized. It's actually written out. What my goal was to do.
Jim? Yeah, I just had a quick question about what you're just talking about now. So the structure of Successful Thinkers is that it could work with a small group or with a very large group.
Oh, either way.
Yeah, because of the meetings, they're basically like lunch meetings.
They can be breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Or dinner, okay.
They all three environments work. They actually have different people, different kinds of people.
Right, yeah.
That's what we noticed.
That's what actually, one of the comments I was just going to make, that I noticed that two-way, attending many of those types of meetings, you have different people attending different times of the day, depending on what it is.
What we discovered about the evening ones, those people, they like the evening ones because they're not early morning people and they can't get away during the daytime. Maybe their clients or whatever it is that they have to meet them during lunch. The lunch ones, those are good. Those are good. And the breakfast ones, quite honestly, I'm not an early bird, so early bird gets warm. I don't want it, so I try to stay away from them. But they exist.